So my name is Janice and I was raised Catholic, and I moved from Michigan to California, and then I got involved in yoga and meditation. So all world religions lead to the one true God. That's how I thought. I found out my mother needed to have brain surgery, and she lived in Michigan, and so I prayed about it, and I asked the Lord to lead and direct me if He wanted me to go to Michigan or stay here in California. I went to Hastings because my sister lived in that area. I was at the farmer's market, and I was looking at the fruits and vegetables and the flowers, and I met this lady, and she introduced herself, and she says, "Oh, what church do you go to?" I said, "Well, I just moved here from California." She goes, "Oh, well, why don't you come to my church?" And I said, "Well, what church did you go to?" And she goes, "The Seventh-day Adventist." And I said, "Oh." A few weeks later, I met her at the church. Judy introduced me to Muriel, introduced me to another lady, Joyce, and Joyce says, "Do you like Bible studies?" I go, "Oh yes, I love Bible studies." And so she goes, "Would you like to come to my house and start Bible studies?" I said, "Sure." She goes, "How about Monday night?" That was 2 nights later. I said, "Sure." And Judy says, "Can I join?" And she said, "Sure." And Muriel says, "Can I join too?" And she said, "Sure." So the 4 of us went to Joyce's house and did the bachelor's series for the next 6 months. I was going to 2 different churches and taking care of my mother and working, and I was getting tired. And I said, "Lord, direct me to the church you want me to go to." And He said, and so I thought I was being directed to Seventh-day Adventist Church, but I still wasn't a member. I was just going to the church. So Judy invited me to camp meeting in 2010, and I accepted, and I came there, and Pastor Louis Torres was doing seminar 7 a.m. meetings, and I remember in one of his classes, he was talking about how to work with people to make a decision. And he talked about when you're working with somebody for a long time and they're not coming around there's going to be a point where you're just going to lose them. When he said that, in my heart, I thought, maybe my Adventist friends I'm going to be lost. I'm not going to be apart with them anymore. He said, have them do an exercise where they talk about the pros and cons to whatever the block is. And so I decided I was going to do that exercise myself. So that day I went under a tree. I started writing down the pros and cons, why I wasn't becoming or wanting to become a Seventh-day Adventist. And all of a sudden, all the blocks I thought maybe were blocks before were no longer blocks. On that last Sabbath morning, talked about the worth of a soul. And at the very end, he gave the altar call. And then he said, if anyone else would like to become a member of this worldwide church, stand. And I stood up. And so from that moment, I knew I was a Seventh-day Adventist.